Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. This is going to count for Wednesday, okay? So that's going to work out okay, I do believe, because Wednesday is not too good for doing it, especially with we have our examination coming up Wednesday at 7:20 Eastern Time, 7:20 to 7:30 Eastern Time with Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company products, any Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company product, including a non-alcoholic beer thing. Okay. Ronrico silver label introduced in 1860. There's the cabana at the beach, the people at the beach drinking cocktails, rum cocktails, obviously, Caribbean rum. There's the walkway. There's the insignia given to them by the King of Spain as a rum of nobles in 1889. Don't know about today. Michael Hill says, hello, I'm here rooting for Albertsons. Okay. Now, so Ronrico is an old brand. It's been around for 161 years. Came under the control of Sazerac. I meant to say Seagram's at some point. And it got sold off, and now it's distilled no longer in Puerto Rico where it was founded, but in the United States Virgin Islands on the island of St. Croix by Cruzan Distillery. It says it right there. Distilled at the Cruzan Rum Distillery, USVI, United States Virgin Islands, a U.S. territory. BC says, cheers, Ron. Cheers to you. Okay, so this is the silver label. I already did taste challenges, y'all, with the gold label. That was last year. Got this for $9.99 at Winn-Dixie. I saw it at Albertsons for $9.99. So that's the typical price. A penny less than $10. Trying to make it less than 10, you know. Sometimes some stores, I know International Market has it for $8.99. This I certainly know. And they've got bottles from like 10 years ago, labels from 20 years ago. So you could go there and get the Caribbean, they're all Caribbean, excuse me. You could get the Puerto Rican distilled and the current U.S. Virgin Islands distilled and see if there's a difference. Probably there isn't because they're using the same recipe, I would assume. But anyway, you could do that if you wanted to. I don't have enough interest to do it. Here's Albertsons Silver Rum, a traditional quality since 1939. True story, because Albertsons grocery chain was established in 1939. Interestingly, this says distilled in the United States Virgin Islands and bottled in Kentucky. This one's bottled in Kentucky by, it says, Ronrico Rum Company. But believe me, it's Beam Suntory, okay? You could tell that's a Old Crow type bottle. Same, go get a bottle of Old Crow. Look, it's the same exact bottle shape. Albertsons. They have it still listed on their website. They listing 200 milliliter and 375s, but they got no photo, no description, and it says it's out of stock. So I'm thinking, and I bet you I'm right, it's discontinued, or as they say in the stores, discode. It's discode, and they're just keeping it listed because they probably have some remaining stock at some of their stores, and when that's all gone, the computer will say gone, and then they'll take it down. All right. Who bottles it? County Line Distillers. You say, who in the world is County Line Distillers? It's an alias for Sazerac. Bought these so cheap. I paid, what did I pay? This is a $3.75, so it's half a bottle. I bought two because they only had the size, and it was the green tag. I know that's the closeout tag. They always have that forest green tag, and it said it was 2 for $4. I think it was $4 for a whole bottle, a full bottle. I used up the first bottle already. Now, what have they replaced it with? Looks good, says Dr. Smith X. It is good. Here's R for Ronrico. They replaced it with something called Kings Bay. Kings Bay is listed on the Albertsons website. They got a gold and a silver, and it comes in a beautiful plastic bottle. They call it a travel 750 travel bottle because you don't have to worry about it breaking. This is a plastic bottle. But now something changed with Kings Bay, because it used to say Caribbean rum, but now if you notice the last year, it's not even a year, it's been saying Caribbean inspired rum. And it's bottled in Kentucky, but it's not only bottled in Kentucky, it is distilled in Kentucky, because Sazerac paid all kind of money to get their Glenmore distillery renovated. I mean, totally renovated. And I was looking at the videos of it, and it was like a tear down. They went down to the beams, you know, to the studs basically, and they redid it with all this brand new equipment. They hadn't been distilling there for a long time. They were just bottling and aging liquor and blending it. But Sazerac say, oh no, we want to distill over there. So now they're distilling rum at Glenmore. And that's why it doesn't say Caribbean rum anymore. It says Caribbean inspired rum. Well, I don't think anybody's too worried about Kings Bay if it's distilled in Kentucky or the Virgin Islands, because it's only $5.99 a bottle. $5.99 a bottle. True story. I saw it today on their website, and I saw it yesterday literally in the store with my own eyes. I did not buy it. Good evening, Ronald. Looking forward to some brown ale reviews in the future. Yes, they're coming. I already reviewed one, the Mountain Ale. It's just that I'm so backlogged on recorded videos, and but they're not being neglected, and they're not being ignored. They're being processed. So I still have the little and the big one, whatever that is. You know, the little dog and the big dog. He says, you understand. Good. So I have the dog and the double dog, whatever that one's called. I'm excited about those. I noticed you saw my honey brown lager, Genesee Specialty Honey Brown. Came out very nice. Both clear. One's bottled by Jim Beam under an alias called Ronrico Distilling Company. Yeah, Ronrico Rum Company. One is bottled by Sazerac under the alias of County Line Distillers. And one is no longer in production. I'm telling you, it's no longer made. Do I know that definitively for sure? No, I don't. Because the website is saying out of stock. It doesn't say discontinued. Well, why would they even list it if it's discontinued? But I think it's being dissipated. Dissipated. They used to have Albertsons, rum, gin, brandy, whiskey, etc. And I bought them up. All of a sudden, they started being replaced with these names. You know, they try to make it look like a regular brand. Kings Bay Rum. Bandito, whatever that stuff's called. Bandolero. That's what it's called. Bandolero Tequila. And I noticed it didn't say Did it say Mexican tequila? I think it just said tequila. It did not say from Mexico. But anyway, that's another problem that I'm not worried about. Bandolero. But I got to go research that. D.W. Anders brandy. The blended whiskey 75 South. The Canadian whiskey is no longer Albertsons. It's called, well, they had already brought that in, Canadian Crest. And they got a new label. And then there's a new fancy look like an Albertsons brand, but it's like twice the price. It's some Canadian whiskey, and they're making this big thing about it, and it's like $20 a bottle. So I'm going to check that out maybe. I don't know who's making it. I didn't really have time to research it, but it seemed interesting. It's called Canadian Reserve, I think. Canadian Reserve. All right. What's going to win here? I don't know. Pig's ear. Haha. Yeah, pig's ear. I was thinking it was a dog. I knew it was an animal. uh, I think this would be about a tie because I like the Ronrico, which I got to remember has a little more wood, has a little more woodiness. And I like the Sazerac. I mean, the Albertsons. Thing about Kings Bay, it's supposed to be an Albertsons brand, but yet I saw it at Broadway Liquors in New Orleans. I saw it at Savannah Discount in Marrero. So those are not Albertsons. I know that much. Neither 75 South was at Savannah Discount. So I don't quite understand what the story is with that. And I think I saw Kings Bay at International Market. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay, let's go with the taste. I think this is going to be a tie, which means Albertsons wins. And you're saying, but why are you even doing the challenge? I can't go buy Albertsons. You just said it was discontinued. Yes, that's right. I said it was discontinued, but I did not say it was unavailable, as evidenced by me buying it last year. And some stores probably still have it. You might go to your local Albertsons and say, well, they got all kind of it. It's loaded on the shelf. Okay. Now, some of these things will stay around a long time after they're discontinued. Just as evidence, Seagram's VO Gold. There's a good example. Seagram's VO Gold. Now, that company told me in 2017 that it was discontinued as of 2017. But I still see it at Winn-Dixie. I still see it at Mathern's. I still see it at Savannah Discount. I still see it at everybody else. You say, yeah, but they got all kind of backstock more than likely. Good answer. You, says Burley Sullivan. This smells sweet and a little woody. I bet you it's from Cruzan too. I cannot quantify that. But I think there's only 2 distilleries in the Virgin Islands. One is a little craft distillery, and one is Cruzan. Who you think is going to be able to do all the contract distilling? This smells good. It's mild. It's got like just like a mild sweetness. It's not rough or anything. Now, you might say, oh, I would never drink rum like that. It's probably so rough and horrible and rot gut and terrible and bum juice and laying on a park bench and everything and all of this and all of that. Oh, yeah, well, it doesn't smell like that, so sorry. And neither does this. It's mild and pleasant. It's fine. They're both mellow. Now, you say, I want bold. I want bold. Well, these are not that. Taste time. Wait till you see those tequila videos. I was thinking, this is going to be the worst, the worst. But then I knew it was Sazerac, so I was thinking, they sort of have that magic touch. They can make silk out of a pig's ear. So those videos were long because I did one after the other. So, but the other problem was I just couldn't get couldn't get a handle on it. Like I was like, cognitive dissonance, cognitive dissonance. Like I was thinking this will be the worst stuff in the world. But then it didn't taste too bad. Have you tried AC/DC tequila? No, I haven't. Tried the beer though. It was pretty good. It's from Germany, right? Or was it Austria? Which used to be part of Germany. This is pretty woody here. There's a lot of strong oak flavor here. So I wouldn't say that translated as being rough. It just translates as being very woody, which you wouldn't notice if you just made cocktails with it. So when people do mixed drinks, you're not going to taste all that because you're not drinking it neat at room temperature like I am. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. Let's go over here. I'm pretty sure I remember it was $1.99 each. Crazy, huh? For this is not a 200 milliliter. This is a 375. I said, even if it's terrible, I'm not passing it up. But it's far from terrible. It has a little oakiness too. I think it's a little more charcoal filtered. Now, aging. If these things are aged a year, I'd be shocked. Yes, they have a tequila, 3 different types. I've heard of it, but I'm not. I mean, it's obviously contract. It's not like AC/DC, the band, has their own distiller. Everyone has a tequila or vodka nowadays, says Burley. Right, true. I find it amusing when bands that don't drink have alcohol products. Yeah. But I guess if people will buy it, may as well make it. Wood. That's a lot of wood. That's pretty okay. That's. I'm not saying it's rough now. I'm just saying it's woody. And I don't know if that is considered a fault or anything. I guess it wouldn't be a fault, right? I mean, it's aged in oak. It's going to take on oak flavor. Makes sense, right? It's probably aged 11 months or something, maybe a year at the most. So, yeah, all right. Stone Cold has a beer. Yeah, that's Broken Skull is a good IPA. I would love to try the Stone Cold beer or AC/DC beer just to do it. That's why I did the AC/DC beer, just to do it. It was fine. And the Iron Maiden Trooper from Robinson's in England. At first, I thought it was bland. Then I tried the rest of the 4-pack. And I realized this beer is not bland. It's really good. I just didn't know what I was drinking. I didn't know how to handle it. The beer was too above me. It was too above my ability at the time. And then I had to get used to the beer. I said, this stuff's really good. It was like that Dan Patrick beer from Red Hook. I was saying, oh, that stuff's so bland. Then I had to backtrack on that. I said, this stuff's not bland. This stuff's great. Can't remember what they called it. I was trying to say it was called and didn't call it anything. I can't remember the name. It was good though. I don't have much experience with rum. I don't really either, but I'm trying to get the experience. You know what I mean? Like I can't get the experience without getting the experience. So it's just like years ago I did Takavaka because I just wanted to try it. This was before videos, and I said, I've seen it my whole life, and I tried it, and I said, this stuff's not bad. It's not much to it. It's not remarkable. Every Monday I would take a little sip, and I drank the whole bottle after about, well, however long it takes you to drink a whole bottle if you drink a little bit like that every Monday. And then I bought the Crown Rus, another Sazerac thing. It was similar. It wasn't the same, though. One thing I did find out was Crown Rus was one of those that Sazerac bought from Seagram. Seagram's used to make Crown Rus vodka. It's an old brand. And it was okay. If you like vodka, I don't really care for vodka, but I'm not opposed to it. I have no interest in it. You understand? So, and all that. All right. So you get the experience by getting the experience. You get it. This one has a little more sugar. This one has a little more wood. When you think of rum, just think of a liquid that's very strong. You know, it's 40% alcohol. It's very strong. But just think of it being sugar-based, cane sugar. Not corn sweetener or anything like that, but just think of sugar. So if you get in your mind white table sugar, more or less, and then if you do the gold rum, maybe it'd be more like the light brown sugar. And then if you do the dark rums, then you think along the lines of dark brown sugar or molasses. And then you pretty much have the idea of it. And then you got to add wood to the flavor because it's aged in wood barrels, so oak barrels, of course. So, and they filter through charcoal and all of that. All right, but they don't all taste the same. No way, no way. If you drink Bacardi, it doesn't taste the same. But it gets very confusing because you'll say, there's a Kansas City Southern Railroad. You'll say, I know they don't taste the same, but I can't remember what the other one tasted like 7 months ago, or whatever. So now, if you have a person that only drank Bacardi for 30 years, well, yeah, I guess they'd probably be able to pick it out. But somebody like me that's jumping around and around and around and around and around all these brands, you can't so much get too much of a taste attachment to it. Except for some isolated cases. I agree. Dan was, let's go look at the comments, then I'm going to call it because I want to watch the news. I remember Crystal Palace gin reviews. Yeah. That's really not bad. I make fun of it because it's an easy target. You know what I mean? It's not really fair. I don't think they bought that from Seagram's, though. I think they bought that from Barton. Yeah, Barton Distilling. When they bought Barton in 2009. And that's how they got Glenmore, because Glenmore was got bought out by Barton. So is rum supposed to be sweet? Yeah, it is kind of sweet. Kind of sweet. Like I say, sugar. I'm impressed by the way you have, Dan Page. I am impressed by the way you have expanded your videos to such a wide variety of beverages. Have learned a lot from your videos. Thank you. I'm trying to learn while I'm doing them. You know what I mean? Like, you're learning along with me. I agree, Dan. Informative and entertaining. True. Entertaining. Thank you. True about the experience reviewing or drinking. Enjoying an all session IPA by Founders. Oh yeah, session IPA. 30 minutes out the freezer. Cheers. I would recommend not putting it in the freezer. AG because Pennybacker, because you get more flavor if you don't get it too cold. I mean, I'm not saying drink it warm, but an IPA, I wouldn't put it in the freezer. Maybe in 2010 when I didn't know anything, because that was my only reference point. Everybody said ice cold. You see all the beer commercials, they open the freezer, snow and frost, but no, not ales. Now, if it's a high gravity malt liquor like Hurricane High Gravity, well, yeah, you want to put it in the freezer. Some are made for that. Some beers are made for the extreme cold, and some are not. Rum, all these liquors I drink at room temperature. I don't ever chill them, ever, 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 ever. Except for the gin, I did put that in the freezer after I tasted it, because that, and I did also put the Jägermeister, but I think it's designed to be ice cold. And it tells you on the thing, serve extremely cold. So, I mean, you follow the recommendations, right? They don't ever say that on these liquor brands. They don't have a recommendation. Their recommendation is drink it however you want. As long as you're buying it, drink it the way you want. I'm new to the game. Well, that's okay. You're new to the game, so you got to learn. I actually like my IPAs at room temperature now. Ultimate flavor. No, room temperature, I wouldn't go along with that unless I lived in like Maine. In Louisiana, room temperature would be not too good most of the year because you'd be drinking it hot in a lot of cases. Okay, who wins? Well, of course, Albertsons wins by virtue of the extremely low and ridiculous price. Okay, so if you go to your local Albertsons, if you live in a state like Louisiana that's very wide open for liquor sales, grocery stores sell it, so you don't really have liquor stores. We do have them. I don't know how they make money, but I'm in Minnesota. Oh, yeah, well, that would work. I chill vodka. Oh, yeah? Or you freeze it. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a very common practice. Sub-zero here. Oh, yeah, no thanks. Still exists, at least from backstock, but I think it's out of production. But you might find it 5 years from now, the way this thing works, you know, the liquor world works. But it's a decent looking little label, silver and that cobalt blue. That's not cobalt blue though, is it? It's like it's nice looking, but I don't know what you call it. All right, maybe it is. No, that's not cobalt. But for that extremely low price, it's pretty good. I mean, it's actually pretty good. It is very good. Now the Ronrico, $9.99. It does great. And I think this is the Ronrico. Oh, it's not. Okay, so the Albertsons had the woodier flavor. Okay, so irritating. I'm from Michigan. Yeah, BC lives up there by Detroit. Okay, so well, I couldn't even tell them apart. Goes to show you, huh? So not only was the Albertsons cheaper, it had less of that woody flavor, which I wasn't sure if that was a negative. Remember when I was saying that? So okay, Albertsons for the win. And goodbye, Albertsons, because we know you're going away, even though you're still around under the name of Kings Bay. But look how much I have left. This will be around in taste challenges for many, many, many challenges. What's coming up next? The news is on now, but what's coming up next is Skull, Dry White, and Caliber. I think I'm forgetting something, but yeah, they're coming up. Oh, Skull, Dry White, Ron Pontalba, and Caliber. Okay, thank y'all. Have a nice Sunday evening. Be safe and have a great week at work, if you go to work.